Leo, your time of waiting in silence is ending because a wealthy soulmate is coming into your life, sent by God, carrying not only love but also abundance, provision, and divine protection. This message is not random. The reason you are here right now is because destiny has aligned you with this exact moment. What you are about to hear is not simply a prediction, it is an awakening, a reminder that you are chosen, and that your journey of strength and resilience has prepared you to receive a covenant-level relationship that will shift your entire reality. Have you ever wondered why you have always been the strong one, the one who carries others, the one who holds it all together, yet you rarely find someone strong enough to cover you? That question has been echoing in your spirit for a reason. You were not designed to fight forever alone. You have been hidden, refined, and tested because the one who is meant to stand beside you could only arrive once you were prepared to step into this divine season. That person, aligned with spirit and blessed with wealth in every sense of the word, is now approaching. This video exists to help you recognize the signs, to prepare your heart, and to remind you that you are not here by accident. You clicked on this message because your spirit was guided here. The universe and God have arranged this encounter to show you that something greater than what you have lost is coming. You are stepping into a season of covenant, not just companionship. This is not about fleeting attraction. It is about divine alignment, provision, and love that is rooted in spiritual purpose. Take a deep breath right now. Imagine what it feels like to no longer carry everything alone. Picture someone steady and generous entering your life, not to take from you, but to add, to build, to protect, and to uplift you. This is not a dream or a fantasy. It is the natural result of your faith, your endurance, and your willingness to keep believing even when doors closed and people walked away. You have been prepared for this. You have been hidden, not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be wasted on those who could not see your worth. Today, I invite you to lean in and listen with your spirit. There are words here meant to awaken something inside you, to bring peace to questions you have carried, and to ignite hope that may have felt dimmed by disappointments. This is not just about romance, it is about divine timing and sacred partnership. It is about the kind of love that multiplies abundance, secures your future, and honors your soul. Before we go further, let me pause to express my deepest gratitude for your presence here. Every like, every comment, and every subscription is more than support. It is a declaration that you are part of a spiritual family, and that together we are keeping alive the light of faith in a busy, chaotic world. Your support is what allows messages like this to continue to reach those who need them. And Leo, I promise you, you will want to stay until the very end of this message, because what is being revealed about your destiny is extraordinary. The universe and God have prepared a surprise for you that will not only touch your heart but transform your path forward. So let me ask you directly, what has your spirit been sensing that pulled you here today? Share it in the comments. Declare your readiness by writing words like, I receive alignment, or I am ready for covenant. These words are not just comments. They are affirmations that unlock the energy of what you are about to step into. You are not just a viewer passing through. You are a chosen one being guided into divine partnership. And this, Leo, is only the beginning of what heaven is about to reveal. Leo, there is something profoundly moving in the idea that you are no longer meant to fight alone. For so long, you have been the warrior, the one who stands in the fire without flinching, the one others lean on when their strength fails. But even the strongest among us reach a point where carrying everything alone becomes heavy, and the soul begins to whisper for rest, for balance, for a place to be covered. Astrology teaches us that Leo, ruled by the sun, is the very embodiment of vitality, radiance, and power. Yet even the sun, in all its brilliance, must retreat beyond the horizon each day to renew itself. This is a reminder that your own light is never diminished by resting, by allowing yourself to receive care, by admitting that you too are worthy of protection. The tarot reflects this truth beautifully. When the star appears, it is a card of divine reassurance, a message that healing and replenishment are on their way. Coupled with the King of Pentacles, it paints a picture of a figure who is not only materially secure but also emotionally grounded, someone whose wealth is not measured only in coins but in stability, patience, and wisdom. This archetype represents the presence of a soul approaching your life who carries with them the power to provide, to protect, and to create an atmosphere where you no longer have to guard yourself constantly. In the language of energy, this is not about dependency but about resonance. You have been trained to shine alone, but now the universe prepares to send someone whose vibration matches yours and who adds fuel to your fire rather than draining it. Think of it this way: when you look at the night sky, no single star lights the heavens by itself. Each star adds to the tapestry, and together they form constellations that guide and inspire generations. You, Leo, have been burning brightly as a solitary star, but the cosmos has written that your constellation is about to be completed. The arrival of a wealthy soulmate, wealthy in spirit and provision, is not just about romantic companionship. It is about the cosmic design to ensure your journey continues with greater balance, love, and abundance. From a therapeutic perspective, many who are constantly strong for others often find it difficult to admit their own exhaustion. They silence their inner cries out of fear of appearing weak. But emotional healing comes when you realize that asking for support is not weakness, it is wisdom. Allowing yourself to be covered is not surrendering your power, it is protecting your energy so that you can keep shining without burning out. The law of attraction echoes this by reminding us that when you shift from, "I must do it all alone," to, "I am open to receiving help," the universe responds by aligning circumstances and people to meet that openness. Your energy acts like a magnet, drawing in what you finally permit yourself to deserve. On a practical level, this might be the time to pay attention to your body and your stress levels. If you have been carrying tension, skipping meals, or ignoring rest because you felt the weight of responsibility, this is your call to slow down. Nourish yourself with foods that restore vitality: whole grains, fresh greens, natural sources of energy, and simple practices like deep breathing or walking under the sun. By doing so, you are symbolically making space for the energy of provision to flow toward you. In work, it may mean realizing you don't always have to carry the team on your shoulders, that delegating is a way of honoring your time. In love, it may mean understanding that vulnerability does not diminish your magnetism, it amplifies it. So, Leo, pause for a moment and ask yourself, where in your life have you been carrying more than your share? And are you willing to release just enough to allow someone else to step in with steady hands and a generous heart? Write it down, let it out, or share it in the comments as a way of affirming your readiness. Say the words, "I have fought long enough. I am ready to be covered." In doing so, you shift your energy field, signaling to the universe that you are prepared to embrace the blessing already moving toward you. This is your moment of transition from standing alone to standing alongside someone who has been divinely aligned to bring balance, abundance, and love into your life. Leo, when you look back at the chapters of your heart, it is easy to focus on the endings, the sudden silences, and the empty spaces where you once thought someone would stand forever. You may have replayed those moments, wondering what you could have done differently, asking if the fault rested with you, or if love itself was destined to betray you. Yet from the perspective of cosmic alignment, those departures were not failures, they were divine redirections. Astrology teaches us that Leo's heart is ruled by the sun, radiant, loyal, and unafraid to pour itself fully into another. But the sun also illuminates what cannot remain in your orbit. When someone leaves at the moment you need them most, it is not because you were undeserving. It is because their soul was never equipped to walk beside yours on the long journey ahead. Think of it as a sacred filter. Just as a jeweler tests a stone to reveal whether it is genuine, your past relationships tested the hearts that entered your life. Those unable to endure the weight of your fire, your loyalty, your calling, were never meant to stay. They were only temporary markers, preparing you to distinguish between what is fleeting and what is true. From a therapeutic lens, this realization is healing. The pain of abandonment often burrows into the subconscious, whispering that you are not enough. But when you shift the perspective from personal blame to divine selection, the wound begins to close. It was never about your lack, it was about their inability to carry what was sacred within you. Numerology adds another layer of meaning. The number 9 is the vibration of completion, the moment when a cycle has done its work and must close so a new door can open. If you notice that many of your endings have clustered around themes of release, solitude, or finality, it is because the universe was closing chapters that no longer served your highest path. And now, with the energy of 10 rising, a new beginning is waiting. 10 is not just a number, it symbolizes the merging of completion and rebirth, a bridge from what was to what will be. It carries the vibration of destiny, telling you that the closing of one story is the preparation for the arrival of another, one that resonates with your growth and your true essence. In psychology, it is often said that our minds are wired to perceive endings as losses rather than transitions. This is why heartbreak can feel like failure, like a verdict against our worth. But if you allow yourself to reframe these moments as necessary closures, you reclaim your power. You are no longer a victim of circumstance but a participant in divine orchestration. Every heartbreak carves space within you so that when the right soul arrives, you will not only recognize them but welcome them without hesitation. Your scars have become wisdom, your silence has become strength, and your loneliness has become clarity. Imagine walking through a forest where paths fork and some trails end abruptly. You might feel frustrated when a path you believed would lead you home suddenly stops. But if you look closer, that path was never meant to carry you further, it was only meant to guide you to the turning point, where the true road awaited. That is how your past relationships functioned, not as failures, but as necessary routes leading you toward the intersection where destiny awaits. So instead of asking why they left, begin asking what you learned. Instead of dwelling on who abandoned you, notice the resilience that rose in you after they were gone. The endings shaped your discernment, deepened your intuition, and prepared you for the kind of covenant love that does not vanish when the storm arrives. You have been refined to the point where you can finally say, with full honesty, that you are ready to open your heart again. And now, Leo, it is time for you to affirm this readiness. If you feel the truth of this resonating within your spirit, speak it out or write it in the comments as a declaration. I have learned from the past. Now I am ready to open my heart. By affirming it, you are not just closing the old cycle, you are stepping boldly into the new one that is already waiting for you. Leo, When we speak of a wealthy soulmate, it is easy to let the mind picture only material riches, houses, cars, bank accounts overflowing. But the deeper truth, the one the universe whispers when you are quiet enough to hear, is that true wealth is never just about money. True wealth is the ability to listen without judgment, to stand steady when storms come, to bring calm and clarity when everything feels uncertain. It is the presence of someone who has walked through their own fires and emerged mature enough to carry not only their own burdens but to help ease yours as well. Astrology reminds us that Leo, ruled by the sun, thrives on warmth, loyalty, and generosity, but it also teaches that those qualities need fertile ground to grow. A soulmate who is truly wealthy is one who knows how to cultivate that ground. Their abundance is not a mask for insecurity but a reflection of inner order. They carry not only financial stability but also the wisdom to manage it in alignment with values, discipline, and vision. It is not wealth for display but wealth with purpose, wealth as a tool of protection, growth, and legacy. Tarot echoes this theme with striking clarity. The Hierophant, paired with the Ten of Pentacles, is a rare combination. It speaks of blessings that flow through both the material and spiritual realms, a reminder that abundance without depth is fragile, but when rooted in wisdom and higher principles, it becomes enduring. The Hierophant points to values, integrity, and a connection to something greater than oneself. The Ten of Pentacles reveals generational security, a sense of home, stability, and the kind of prosperity that does not vanish with market shifts or passing trends. Together, they tell a story of someone who has mastered the art of balancing earthly success with timeless principles. Think of wealth as a river. Money alone is like water rushing without direction. It can flood or dry up without warning. But when guided by the riverbanks of patience, wisdom, and ethics, that river nourishes everything along its path. A wealthy soulmate, in the true sense, is the one who builds the riverbank strong enough to channel abundance without losing its essence. They do not hoard or flaunt what they have, they use it to shelter, to protect, and to empower. Their richness is not a weight you must carry, but a current that carries both of you forward. From a healing perspective, many people carry wounds from relationships where money was misused as power, where provision came with strings, or where abundance was a mask for emotional emptiness. The arrival of a wealthy soulmate is not meant to repeat those cycles but to heal them. They will show you that love and prosperity can coexist without manipulation, that someone can cover you without controlling you, and that abundance can be an offering rather than a chain. This is where emotional therapy aligns with the law of attraction. When you shift your belief from wealth equals burden to wealth equals blessing, you create the space to attract a partner who embodies that truth. In numerology, wealth connected to the number 8 carries the vibration of balance between the material and spiritual. It is infinity turned upright, symbolizing that prosperity should be cyclical, shared, and continuously flowing. When you align with this energy, you begin to see abundance not as something to grasp desperately, but as something to steward wisely. And the soulmate moving toward you carries this vibration. They are not coming to drain or overshadow you but to walk beside you, to expand the vision of what both love and prosperity can look like when combined with purpose. Leo, pause and let yourself feel what it means to be in the presence of such a person. Imagine the relief of knowing that wealth in your relationship is not a contest, not a hidden trap, but a foundation of safety and security. Imagine being able to rest in the knowledge that when you are tired, someone else has the maturity and stability to carry you for a while. That is what it means to be blessed with a wealthy soulmate, a covenant of abundance that uplifts rather than burdens, a love that multiplies rather than depletes. If this resonates with your spirit, affirm it openly, speak it aloud, or share it in the comments. True wealth begins in spirit. By doing so, you are not only declaring your belief but inviting that very energy into your life. Leo, when the moment arrives, it will not be wrapped in fireworks or announced with grand signs. Instead, it will be quiet, subtle, and deeply undeniable. You will not need anyone to tell you, and you will not need your mind to analyze it into pieces, because your soul will already know. It will feel like slipping into a room you have been in 1,000 times before, even if you have never seen it. It will feel like home. That sense of safety, of calm that washes over you without explanation, is the unmistakable recognition of a soul that has been in harmony with yours long before your human awareness could grasp it. Astrology explains this beautifully. For Leo, ruled by the sun, recognition often comes through warmth and light. When you meet someone whose soul resonates with yours, it is as though the light of your sun finally finds a companion flame, not to compete but to glow alongside. The resonance between your energies is not about effort or convincing, it is about alignment. You are no longer stretching yourself thin to be seen, no longer bending to be understood. Instead, the connection itself breathes ease into you. Like two instruments tuned to the same pitch, your souls vibrate in harmony, producing a sound that needs no explanation. Psychology describes this phenomenon as resonance or attunement. When you encounter someone who meets you at this level, your nervous system responds before your mind catches up. Your breath deepens, your body relaxes, and the constant background tension of trying to prove or protect yourself begins to fade. This is why conversations with such a person feel natural and grounding, why silence shared with them is not uncomfortable but nourishing. It is a form of recognition that transcends logic, a remembering that whispers, "I have known you before." From a healing perspective, many carry scars from relationships where they had to fight to be heard or perform endlessly to keep love alive. Meeting a soulmate who resonates at your frequency dismantles those old patterns. You no longer feel the pressure to decorate yourself to be worthy. You no longer chase validation. Instead, you arrive exactly as you are and find that it is not only enough, it is celebrated. That is why this kind of connection feels like breathing freely after years of holding your lungs tight. It is the relief of being seen without effort. There are signs to recognize this resonance if you pay attention. You will notice that you feel unconditional peace, as though nothing needs to be fixed in that moment. You will not feel the urge to impress or to hide, because the acceptance is already there. Your conversations, no matter how ordinary, will carry a depth that surprises you. It is not about the words exchanged, but about the flow that happens beneath them, the silent assurance that you are understood without having to perform. Think of it as standing near a river that has always run beneath the earth. You may not have seen it before, but when it finally rises to the surface, the sound of its water feels familiar. You know it instinctively because your soul has been listening to its echo long before your eyes could see it. That is what it feels like when you meet the one who resonates with you at the deepest level. So, Leo, do not be surprised if the recognition comes quietly. Do not expect a dramatic spark or a sudden explosion. Instead, look for the calm, the ease, the inexplicable sense of rightness that cannot be faked. That is the mark of true resonance. And if your heart has ever leapt from a single glance, if your spirit has ever sighed in relief simply standing in the presence of another, then you already know the truth of what I am speaking. Write it down, declare it openly, or share it in the comments. I believe in soul resonance. By doing so, you affirm your readiness to experience it fully, to welcome the alignment that has been waiting for you all along. Leo, the journey you are stepping into is not about fleeting passion or temporary comfort. It is about something much deeper, something sacred in its design. When we talk about a covenant, we are speaking of a bond that transcends the ordinary definitions of love. This is not the kind of connection that flickers briefly like a candle in the wind. It is the steady flame of a lighthouse, meant to guide and protect, meant to endure. Astrology tells us that Leo, ruled by the sun, is destined not just for romance but for purpose-driven partnerships. The sun does not shine for itself. Allanite shines to give life, to nurture, and to create legacy. The soulmate approaching your life carries that same energy, someone not here to simply stand beside you in fleeting moments, but to co-create a foundation that will ripple far beyond your individual story. The tarot makes this message unmistakable. The Lover's card speaks of divine union, a choice guided by the heart but blessed by higher alignment. The High Priestess brings depth, intuition, and spiritual wisdom, ensuring that what is formed is not only passionate but also profoundly guided by inner knowing. And the Four of Wands signals celebration, stability, and homecoming, the sense of a sanctuary built together. These three cards combined point toward a love that is not merely emotional or physical but spiritual, practical, and eternal. They confirm that what is ahead for you is not an ordinary relationship but one with a purpose, to build, to heal, and to create a legacy that stands the test of time. In self-healing work, we often see patterns where people are drawn into cycles of temporary connection, short-lived sparks that teach lessons but never truly anchor. Those cycles are not wasted, but they were stepping stones leading you here, to the threshold of something more profound. A covenant partner does not arrive to fill the holes left by others. They come because you have reached the level of maturity and self-awareness to walk in alignment with them. Together, you will not only love but also steward resources, values, and dreams in ways that extend to future generations. Think of it like planting a tree that will provide shade not just for you but for those who come after you. In psychology, relationships that endure are often built on what is called shared meaning. This goes beyond daily interactions. It is the sense that both people are building toward the same vision, the same horizon. Without shared meaning, love can feel scattered and temporary. But when two people align their visions and choose to create together, the bond strengthens with time instead of weakening. This is the difference between a romance that burns out quickly and a covenant that weathers storms. It is not about perfection but about alignment in values, goals, and commitment. From the perspective of the law of attraction, when you shift your desire from seeking love for comfort to seeking covenant for purpose, you recalibrate your energy. You no longer attract those who are only meant to pass through your life. You magnetize the one who is meant to stay. Your affirmation becomes clear. You are not calling in someone to complete you, you are calling in someone to build with you. This distinction matters, because it shifts you from longing to empowerment. You step into your role as co-creator, actively choosing to attract what matches your deepest values. Imagine your life as a cathedral. Temporary loves are like visitors who light a candle and leave. A covenant partner, however, comes to lay stones with you, to raise walls, to create something enduring and sacred. They do not come to rescue you, nor do they arrive as a burden. They come to walk beside you, step by step, as the architecture of your legacy takes form. Together, you become living proof that love anchored in higher purpose is not only possible but transformational. So, Leo, this is the moment to affirm what you truly seek. Not a fleeting romance, not a quick fix for loneliness, but a covenant. Declare it openly, let your energy align with it, and write the words, I do not only want love. I want covenant. In doing so, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready for the kind of relationship that not only lights your heart but also builds a future, heals generations, and carries the weight of legacy with grace. This is the love you have been prepared for, and now it is drawing near. Leo, you have carried the flame through seasons of waiting, and though it may have felt like silence, nothing has been wasted. Every delay, every lesson, every heartbreak has been a preparation for this moment, where the universe begins to align the promise with your path. The wealthy soulmate that has been destined for you is not a distant dream, but a reality drawing closer with each step you take toward openness and faith. You were never overlooked, you were being refined. You were never forgotten, you were being prepared. And now, after all this time, the oil of persistence is about to fuel your light into a new level of brilliance. This covenant that is unfolding for you is not just about love, but about the fruit of endurance. It is the sweet harvest that comes only after seasons of planting, watering, and waiting in faith. Your spirit has been hidden like a lamp under shelter, but not to diminish you, only to protect you until the right moment. And now, that light is being placed on the stand where it can shine, not only for yourself, but to illuminate the path for others. The question I want you to ask yourself now is, are you willing to fully receive? Are you ready to let go of the old stories that said you had to fight alone, that you had to carry everything by yourself? Are you prepared to welcome a love that does not drain you but multiplies your energy, your abundance, and your joy? These are not questions of chance, but of choice. The universe will place the opportunity in front of you, but you must choose to say yes. Think of the ways you can start aligning today. Can you begin by giving yourself 5 minutes in the morning just to breathe, to quiet your mind, and to invite clarity into your day? Can you nurture your body with food that restores energy rather than depletes it, reminding yourself that your vessel deserves care? Can you write down the vision of what truly makes your soul feel alive in your work, so you know where to direct your steps? Can you honor your finances not with fear, but with wisdom, making conscious decisions that reflect trust in your future? And in love, can you allow yourself to be fully seen without trying to prove, impress, or perform, trusting that the one who is meant for you will recognize your light without needing persuasion? These small acts of alignment are not just rituals, they are declarations. They tell the universe that you are ready to match the blessing that is already on its way. You are no longer preparing in silence, you are stepping into readiness with action. And when readiness meets destiny, miracles unfold. So I invite you now to speak your affirmation into the space of possibility. Comment below with words that anchor your faith. Write, I receive alignment, to declare your openness, hidden for glory, to honor the season you were protected, or 4444, 888, and 555, to call in stability, abundance, and grace. These are not just numbers or phrases, they are energetic keys that unlock a deeper resonance in your spirit. By writing them, you are sealing your intention and stepping into agreement with what is coming. And as you take this in, I want to pause with gratitude. Thank you for allowing yourself to be present here, for opening your heart enough to hear these words. Every like, every comment, Every subscription is more than support, it is a spark that keeps this light moving forward, reaching more souls who are waiting for their own awakening. By being here, you are not only receiving, you are contributing to the expansion of hope and faith across countless lives. So, Leo, carry this with you. You are no longer the one left to fight alone. You are the bearer of covenant, and the one meant to stand with you is already on their way. Stay expectant, stay aligned, and stay open. Because what is approaching you now is greater than anything you had to release, and it will prove that the waiting was never in vain. Your light is about to be fueled with new fire, and your destiny is ready to meet you.